I'm here with Maureen Van Hook today talking about how to decide who to vote for, which is a hot topic right now as we are in the thicket of an election year and health freedom issues, medical freedom issues are at the forefront of every decision that's being made in government right now. And it is the issue for many of you that are watching on who you will cast to vote for. So let's talk for a few minutes about how to vet those candidates and how to walk into the polls with intention and confident in who you are putting in office. Thanks, Mo, for joining us today to talk about a super important topic in 2020. What do you look for in a candidate before voting? So what qualities do there need to be to know that this is a candidate that will stand for health freedom?
I will actually go to their website, take a look at what are they aligning with, where their interests happen to be. Unfortunately, a lot of times you're going to find that it does not have anything to do with our health freedoms, right? And our medical choices that we personally decide to make. It's, really a vacancy that I find happens quite often within these legislators running their campaigns. So the next step I do take is to go and meet with them. And, it might be at an event that they're going to be at that could be found on their website or their social media pages. And if I can't get them there, then I, try to meet them one-on-one. And then also I actually reach out through social media, through, Messenger, through Facebook, as well as the other modalities of social media, and get them to go on the record as to where they stand with regards to health freedom, right? And where, are they for government mandates? I mean, are they for, any mandates whatsoever that would impact you and your family? And, you can have those conversations, you can ask those questions. A lot of times you'll find out that they will give you the fluff question, I guess, or the fluff response. And you really do need to be very specific. And I will keep going down that path until I hear what I need to hear are those specific keywords, such as I'm not for mandates, right? Or I am for mandates, or when they start to position it as if, one thing is one and the other thing is another. And let me give you an example. I'm seeing a lot of legislators in this election season talk about COVID-19 vaccine. Well, it's too early to talk about that. And I can't see that would mandate that. However, the other 72 doses that, they're looking to require our children as well as ourselves to take don't seem to be in alignment with that same questioning. So where I'm at is no mandates. And I need to hear that from them before I'll actually make that commitment, not only commitment to vote for them, but commitment to actually start advocating for them to be elected. And I think that's a huge thing. This is an election year. This is probably the most biggest opportunity that we have as constituents to find the candidates that are going to best represent us. And what you want to do, and what we've done historically in the past, I'll give you a perfect example. We had a legislator 4 years ago who we invited to one of our events, our health freedom events, and we got to know her, spent some time. She took in our perspective. She was very naive to the world of medical mandates and health freedom and those types of issues. And we took the time to not only meet with her, but also then to support her in getting that election done. She wasn't even in my district, and I went out with her T-shirt on. I stood at the polls for her. I, went knocking on doors. I did this because she was in alignment with what we wanted to see as a representative within the legislative branch. And thankfully, she was elected. We kept cadence events with her, and here we are, now 4 years later, and we supported her being reelected. Now this will be our second time pushing for her reelection, and it's because she aligns with us. We also support her on some of her initiatives that don't really play a role in what we think and what we believe, but at the end of the day, it's important for her, so we actually support that as well. And it definitely is something that this year, above all else, is when you want to get out and start asking those questions and be very proactive and be very direct.
And that's a good point that it's about educating them even if you're asking something from them, there might be an educational gap that they're open to. So open-minded representatives are very key when it comes to the people's interest instead of representing special interest.
If you cannot get a hold of them, they will not be available to you during post-election when they're in office. So that is a very, very important thing to consider. I can't get in touch with this person. So what makes me think that they're going to represent me once they get into office? So I think, or if they're not willing to go on the record, that's another concern that I would have, that people should kind of set off a little light bulb going, wait a minute, they're saying this to me, but when I put it on the record or when I follow up with an email just to confirm conversation and where they align, the response isn't coming back to me. So I think we need to start looking for those little bits and pieces to make sure that we know before we get out there and we put that T-shirt on and we stand out there with our flags and our signs, that we know they are 100% on board to ensure that what's important to you is important to them.
Voting is a very powerful communication tool. So we have all these different ways, and during an election year, to be able to intentionally vote and to vote for a specific issue is a powerful thing. So I want to encourage everyone who has any concern about how government power is being used right now to intentionally vet these candidates and show up at the polls or vote by mail if you're required to do so in your state, so that we can make sure that health freedom sees a tipping point in our lifetime.